G'day all, it's Brother Blonde. But I guess you already knew that, because, well, I'm the only one that says that. And you're watching my video, which says Brother Blonde, so it's me. Anyway, I'm doing this little video log today at the request of a YouTube vlogger called ShockofGod. ShockofGod. And he knows, as I guess a lot of you know, that I'm a Christian, believe in God and go to church. As my little channel info thing said, you know, I play guitar at the church, and consequently I think it would be fair to say that I believe in God. Anyway, he has asked me to do a video log and read a verse of scripture, which I think is a fair and reasonable thing to request. And I think it's quite possible for me to be able to do that, because I know I can walk and chew gum, so I'm sure I can read and ride a motorcycle at the same time. So anyway, today is Saturday the 20-something of June. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to pick up one of my daughters from a birthday party. She's been out horse riding apparently. So I thought, well, I'd take this opportunity to reply to ShockofGod. Now I'm going to read, I actually printed out from my Quick Verse, which is a computer program Bible thingy, rather than bring a Bible and stick it here. Just from right at the beginning, where it says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And then a little bit later in that verse, in that scripture, it goes on and says, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass. I've got to keep looking up so I can see where I'm going. The herb yielding seed, and the fruit yielding tree, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. It's really disjointed reading. I suppose I could probably stop and read it, but that would take the thrill out of it, wouldn't it? And then it says, and the earth brought forth grass, and the herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed is in itself, and God saw that it was good. Now, being a God believer, I believe that. But what I want to do is just ask a question. It's maybe controversial, and people will probably get a little bit upset and angry at this question, but to me it's a legitimate question. To all those who believe in evolution, and I don't have a problem with people believing in that, because I'm not going to force what I believe onto anyone. If you have a belief, that's fine. But what I want to do is ask a question that people who talk about evolution, now I'm being very general here, not specific, because I'm sure there are people that don't fall into this category. People that talk about evolution only seem to talk about animals. How, you know, the single-celled thingy produced a couple more cells, and the animals evolved and eventually came out of the primordial gloop and formed a higher being and ultimately formed into man. Okay. But my question is based on what I just read then. Here's a little twisty bit, so I might stop for a moment. Hopefully the rear view camera gave you a little bit of an idea of the lean angle then. My question is, where do trees and plants and flowers and grass and shrubs and bushes and all that fit into the evolutionary way of thinking? I mean, how did a rose form? Or how did well, that tree there, or that tree over there, which is a totally different type of tree, or this type of grass, or a daffodil, or a strawberry, or a cucumber, watermelon, cauliflower. Where did they all come from? How did they evolve from one thing to another? So I did a bit of a a web search, and even geologists and ecologists and all the other ologists said that they could not find any fossilized links between any of the different kinds of species of plant. Like a pine tree only produced a pine tree, and that's what this scripture says here. It produces seed after its kind. So an apple will only produce an apple. An orange tree can never produce a watermelon. You know what I mean? So my question is, now I'm not getting at anybody here, I'm not being judgmental or anything like that. I'm just curious to know, for those of you who believe, you know, staunchly in evolution, where does all that sort of fit? How do you reconcile that? Because I'm curious to know. I really want to know how you believe that fits into your belief system. So, yeah, if you could answer that, comment. I prefer genuine comments, not just critical things, but just, you know, genuine things of what you believe and so forth, without any judgmentalness. Is that a right word? Judgmentalness? Anyway, I'm at the place where I need to be, so I'll see you all later.